Hello, people. I'm your host Neha Soni, aka AHS, and I welcome you all to Wisely Weird. Here we talk about knowledge, self love, learnings, and creating your own place in this world with a hint of entertainment. Thanks a lot for joining, and let's get started with.
So, hello everybody. I hope you are doing great. And today's guest that we are going to have is one of the very long awaited guests and a very special guest to this podcast. And actually, I am very happy to invite her over. She is a child psychologist. She practiced play therapy and having an experience of more than 6 years. Among all these, she is an international member of American Psychological Association. So I would like to welcome Dr. Pritika Gonsalves. Welcome, Dr. Pritika. How are you?
I'm fine, Neha. How are you doing?
I'm doing great and I'm very excited for this podcast, since a very long time.
Yes. We had been discussing about this, and because of prior engagements, we couldn't do it before.
Right, right. And also, in your introduction, I was about to mention in how many subjects you have experience in, but the list was so long for me to remember. So please tell our audience all the subjects that you practice in.
Yeah, so I generally, as a child psychologist, I deal with kids from 3 years to 18 years, and I deal with their problems. And kids' problems differ from age to age. So there are temper tantrums, there's ADHD, learning disability, then there is anger issues, exam pressure, stress management, relationship issues, and much more. I mean, there is a list which is endless, which the kids and teens go through. Yeah, they do have their set of problems. Many people say that what kids or what teens have problems, oh, they have their own problems. So yeah, so every child is different, and every child's problems are different.
Very, very right. And also, like this concept of reading and learning psychology and understanding this part of your life wasn't in the play short time of period ago. And this just came into the scene very recently. So, why do you think, as a professional, it is very important to understand one's psychology? Why is it so important?
Actually, I would say psychology starts with oneself first. If we as professionals don't understand ourselves, we will not understand others. So, psychology not only helps in understanding others, but also our problems. Like when I was studying psychology, I understood that, my certain phobias were all childhood, observing others that I learned, like, getting scared of cockroaches. I would get scared a lot of cockroaches, even though they do nothing. But that became because I saw my neighbor reacting to cockroaches. That's what I introspected. और फिर देन आई थॉट कि हाँ मेरी नेबर चिल्लाती है तो मुझे भी चिल्लाना है, और वो डर बैठ गया. तो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आई लर्न दैट आई नीड टू गेट ओवर, मुझे वो फोबिया से बाहर निकलना है. तो आज आई डोंट हैव दैट फोबिया. I have overcome my phobia. So it has helped me a lot. Even जब मुझे गुस्सा आता था तो मैं सोचती थी मुझे गुस्सा क्यों आता है. But while studying psychology मुझे पता चल गया कि जो triggers है, अगर वो हम जाने तो हम अपना गुस्से पे काबू रख सकते हैं. तो that is the best part which we learn a lot about ourselves more. And once you know how to handle yourself, you're able to handle others also.
Very, very well explained. And like as you just mentioned about child phobias,
Yeah.
so we have talked about this earlier as well. Ki one of the greatest issue that I relate with and that I feel very strongly towards is the parenting issues. Like I told you about this earlier, right? Ki,
Yes.
and for this for our audience I would like to tell them as well ki some time ago I conducted this tiny survey And in that survey, I kept asking people ki, are you happy with the way you were raised, and are you like 100% satisfied with your childhood, and was there in any way could your parenting style would have been a little better. So the response that I get was so shocking. I told you about this, that 100% of people whom I asked this question, like actually 100% of the people except you, 100% of the people said that yes. Even my own parents, they said yes ki, they had issues while growing up. They had especially parenting issues, and their childhood part could have been a little better from their parents' side. So about this thing, like why almost nobody is satisfied with their parents. And this is again a question for our audience as well. Please do let me know via social media that what do you think about your parenting style, and if it could have been a little better. And also, as we have brought this topic, please like solve this issue, that why almost nobody is satisfied with their parenting style, and why we get to see such results on such a large level.
Yeah, so thank you for that question, because this is really, really important question, because any problem what adults, teens are suffering today is because of their childhood. And Sigmund Freud always said, he's a psychologist, one of the father of psychology. He said that everything starts from our childhood. So our childhood plays a great role. We don't realize it, but yes, our whatever we have molded ourselves of being molded by our parents in our childhood, it becomes a part of our relationships going further. So yeah, I would like to say that South Asian culture is mostly patriarchy. And patriarchy has this called dictatorship parenting. So dictatorship parenting, as you might know, dictator means there is only one way of communication, where the parents put down rules and regulations. They don't discuss it with their child. You have to follow. You cannot throw your tantrums. And due to that, lot of issues go on. The children follow it when they are kids, but when they grow up और जब वो teenagers बन जाते हैं, तो फिर वो rebellion हो जाती है, क्योंकि माता पिता उनको समझ नहीं पाते. And that is the reason that the teenage revolt, and sometimes they go into different psychological problems, जैसे कि anxiety हुआ, या आइसोलेशंस हुए, या तो peer प्रेशर. ये सब कहीं ना कहीं चाइल्डहुड प्रॉब्लम्स में ही छुपा रहता है. अगर हमारा चाइल्डहुड पेरेंटिंग डेमोक्रेटिक होता, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे कि if I am a democratic parent, so I will give a rule, and then I will tell my child whether that rule is fine, whether the child is comfortable with that rule. If that rule the child is not comfortable, I will be flexible and do little changes. I will have a two-way communication. And instead of screaming and shouting at the punishment what I give to the child, I would ask the child what is it that is bothering him, that he's reacting in this way. So this is democratic parenting. But dictator parenting, what happens, the child does mistake, and to stop that mistake from happening again, they will give a severe punishment. और वो punishment ऐसा होता है कि बच्चा समझता है कि वो खराब है. नहीं, बच्चा कभी खराब नहीं होता, उसका बिहेवियर खराब है. वो कभी समझ नहीं पाता कि बिहेवियर खराब है, इसके वजह से मुझे पनिशमेंट मिल रहा है. तो दैट चाइल्ड हैज सेल्फ डाउट, has inferiority complex, low self esteem, you know and always wants to be a people pleaser ताकि उसको punishment ना मिले. तो ये सब problems आ जाते हैं dictator parenting में. And very few parents in southeastern culture uh, जो है, they follow democratic parenting. So if we follow democratic parenting, आगे जाके प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो सकती है, चीजें अच्छे हो सकते हैं, मेंटल हेल्थ हेल्दी होता है. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Like abhi we are seeing ki people are still, jo young parents, especially young parents,
हाँ.
um they are moving towards this style, as you said, ki democratic style of parenting. but many, like I would say a majority, is still living in that dictatorship style of parenting. My question to you is ki, what could be those tiny steps which could be taken by the parents and the children to curb and cross this bridge of dictatorship style of parenting to democratic style of parenting?
Yeah, so this dictator style of parenting has come because of their experience as a child. Okay, so they need to understand that the problems they faced, and मैंने बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स से बात की है, एंड मैंने पूछा है कि अगर आपको प्रॉब्लम्स था एज अ चाइल्ड विद योर पेरेंट्स, तो आप वही प्रॉब्लम्स अपने बच्चों में क्यों दोहरा रहे हो, व्हाट इज द रीजन? तो उन लोग ने बोला कि वी आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ व्हाट इज अ डेमोक्रेटिक पेरेंटिंग. We are aware of a traditional way of parenting which has come from generations, and we feel that this is right. But it is very important कि they start knowing what is democratic parenting. मैंने एक post भी डाला था that we need to have self love where we are very democratic in approach. बहुत सारे लोगों ने पूछा democratic मतलब, क्योंकि उनको डेमोक्रेटिक सुन के सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट याद आता है और कुछ नहीं. So I told them कि it is like, listening to others, taking their feedback, and at the same time making the required changes. If you feel that, your child is uncomfortable with certain rules of yours, or, जैसे कि, for example, very small example, for example, I want my child to go for drawing classes. Okay, and I don't listen to my child at all. My child doesn't like drawing classes, but I force my child to go for drawing classes. So I am forcing, I am not telling or not discussing, do you like drawing classes? So when I force something on somebody without their liking, that is dictator. But I will ask my child, if I ask my child what you like, drawing, dancing, music, the child says I like music, and I put the child in music classes, and he goes by his choice. So wo hai democratic parenting. So you need to discuss, you need to observe your child, not, dictator parenting comes when we try to compete with the world, we try to compete with our neighbor, and we want our child to be just like our neighbor's child. If a neighbor's child is going for taekwondo classes, even I will send my child for taekwondo classes. No, you need to know and understand your child, what is their preferences.
Maybe what I believe is that this thing originates from the preconceived notion that a kid just do not know enough. They do not know well ki, what would be better for their life or for their future. Either it's art classes or music class or even the taekwondo class you mentioned. They believe ki the kid do not know what would be better for their lives in the long run.
That is true, but the same thing, अगर वो गलतियां नहीं करेंगे तो कैसे सीखेंगे? Parents, these parents were also kids. They had so many problems while growing up. And if you start protecting and shielding your child now, then growing up, the child is going to be dependent on you for each and every, problems. I know of someone who is a parent now. She told me, I don't want my child to be like me. So I said, what is the meaning that I don't want my child to be like me? So she's saying, I am 40 plus today, but whenever someone asks me a question, say like, are you coming for a party? And I say, I'll let you know. And next thing is I call up my mother and ask, should I go for a party? She's saying, I am 40 plus now. I mean, I still ask that question. I cannot take my decision. I don't want my child to ask each and every decision to me. This is why, because of that fear, because of that, in dictatorship parenting, there's no respect, there is fear. We need to respect each other. That is important. Agar you come to know कि हाँ इसको his choice, supposing his choice is to music class, and if he says after 1 month कि मुझे music class नहीं जाना है, obviously in this you're not blamed. You can tell the child, this was your preference, you liked it, you wanted to go, so it's your choice. So here you're giving choices, you're giving responsibility. हर चीज अगर हम करें तो फिर बच्चा कब इंडिपेंडेंट होगा?
Very right. Like, this being independent wala point you just mentioned is one such a huge problem in Asian society, especially I would say, and we will definitely come back to this point and discuss it thoroughly. Before that, I would like to ask if someone, if there is a person who has suffered and gone through not so happening a childhood and have like suffered through multiple issues in their parenting, so what could be done? Like these issues leave a lifelong effect on your brain, and to a certain level very scary traumas in a person. So, what could be done to curb all these things that a person is facing through due to all these childhood issues?
See, the point is you need to understand what were the triggers that led to all these things. It could be perfectionism, it could be, competitions, it could be, physical punishments, all these things. And if you feel that the environment is having that problem, obviously, if you tell parents about mental health now also, they have the thing that mental health, what is mental health? Nothing is wrong with us. So you can't explain them to that extent. But yes, you can bring changes in yourself. You can inculcate self love. That is what you feel right. What happens is when you grow up, we are saying yes, yes to everything. And that becomes even more traumatic because supposing we don't want to meet an uncle who maybe has teased us, bullied us as a child, but our parents have said, वो तो हमारा रिलेटिव है तो रहने दो, let it be, you have to face him. But you are big enough now. You can tell that I will meet him, but right now I am busy. I will when I have the time, I will get back to him. I will meet him, or I will go to the party. Not today because there is some work with me. That's why. So you can say no. Keep boundaries. Stop people pleasing. It is not going to lead to anything because we can't make everybody happy. So it is important that we start making ourselves happy. In fact, I have started a new word called self pleasing. Start pleasing yourself, start loving yourself. And if you love yourself, you need to put down your feet and you need to be assertive, but use a right way of communication. Just say that I have some prior work. I can't be there right now, but I will come back or I will meet the person. It's fine, but don't be harsh. That is the point. So, there are things you need to start small. If there are times that you need to have a quality time with yourself, just take that space out when you're going to college or when you're going to work. What you like, maybe you like to have something like maybe bhel puri or pani puri, have it. Even if it is having it alone, enjoy your company. You need to start loving yourself. When you start loving yourself, nobody can hurt you, and you need to start small. Let people say anything that you're selfish, you're this, you're that. It doesn't matter. आप क्या करते हो, आप क्या सोचते हो, वो मैटर करता है.
You are extremely right, and I totally agree with this. And I'm also a very huge exponent of self love. And this is something which has led me and given me that power to go through all the hard times that personally, which I have faced in my life. And that is why the very first episode that I thought we should go for this podcast was about self love. And people, if you haven't watched that episode, go listen to that episode right after this one. And continuing to that, we have joined another word to our dictionary. Thank you, Dr. Pritika. Self pleasing. And as you just said, ki saying no is a very very important thing in our life, that we keep on saying yes to things just to please people, even though these things harms us. Even I am learning day by day, very slowly, to say no to the people. And it is very difficult in like multiple manners, because you just don't want to sound rude, you just don't want to be harsh towards people, you don't want to upset people, because they might be having some like expectations from you and you don't want to let them down, but sometimes you have to, and that is not wrong. For your own self, your own mental health, your own life is the priority. And if it's a very close friend to you, if that person is also good and very close to you, then that person would definitely understand why you are saying no. And if that person do not understand, then remember that person wasn't worth doing anything for in the very first place.
Yes, exactly. I agree. I always tell kids, if someone loves you, will accept you with your boundaries. If someone doesn't love you, that you will come to know when they don't accept you with boundaries.
Like as we are talking about boundaries, maintaining one's personal space is as important as like being with each other. And parents need to understand this, where parents should be drawing like the boundary between their lives and the lives of their children. There should be some line where children could get to enjoy their own life, get to take their own decisions, where parents won't be there. They
Mhm.
of course should be there to help you out if you are in a trouble, but there should be a definite line for that. And where should parents and children should be drawing that boundary exactly?
Actually, the point is when it comes to our culture, Indian culture, it's a collectivist culture. If you say self-love, self-please, they say this is not America, this is India. So, but I have spoken to many of the people in foreign countries too, and they too tell that self-pleasing is over there also. We have to choose things, and then afterwards our parents say, "Oh, this is wrong. This is not applicable. What you're doing is wrong." So they say that self-pleasing, self-love is important, but then the parents don't understand. So I would say, and which I always told, I would give a small example. There was a boy who always came to me and told that, I don't like to wear the sweater during winters, but I am forced to wear the sweater. I don't feel cold that much, but my mother forces me to wear sweater. And due to that, there is a lot of fights. So I told him, simple thing, that wear the sweater and come to school, and then in the school, remove your sweater. Your mother doesn't know that your sweater is removed. So in this, the fights also have stopped. Second, your boundary is also maintained. You are listening, but you are not doing it because you don't like to do it. So you remove it out in the school. So here you know that, okay, I have maintained that boundary. I have accepted what she said. I have made her happy for the time being. But at the same time, I know that where I want to stop that. And so remove the sweater at that point of time. So when the parents are talking and they say that this is not right, this is not, you're not supposed to do that, listen to them, don't argue, say okay, from your point of view it's right, but at the end of the day the decision remains with you. So it's the way you communicate that matters. Sometimes what happens when our parents start objecting to our decisions, we get angry and we lose our temper. And when we lose our temper, फिर क्या होता है, हम लोग बहस करना शुरू करते हैं, and then it becomes even more bad. तो हम लोग को ऐसा लगता है कि कोई हमें समझता नहीं है, but the parents are talking from their perspective. तो listen, हाँ, आप ठीक हो, आप आपकी बात सही है, पर एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आप अपना खुद का डिसीजन लो. And when it comes to your decisions going right, that time it makes sense, they will understand. Because if you're going to explain and over explain, you're just breaking your own personal boundaries by over explaining stuff.
Like, I have a question here. Like, when you told that kid ki wear the sweater when you impart from your home and
Ye-
then remove the sweater when you reach school,
yeah.
I'm guilty of that as well. I have done that too. But the thing is that via suggesting a kid to do something like this, aren't we letting the kid lean towards more ethically immoral side? Like we're lying, it does count under like lying.
So, see, the point here is the parents won't understand and will start. And he always says that at that point of time, they were, it had become into a screaming and shouting thing in the morning when he used to say that I don't want to wear the sweater. So that becomes even more irritating, and the full day of the child is spoiled by screaming and shouting. So, here what has happened that after the child did that, I told the child, now, after 1 week has passed, you need to go and tell your mother that I wear the sweater only for your happiness to the school. But in the school, I remove it out because I am sweating. And tell that, that sweating gives lot of irritation. Tell the truth to her. So he went and told the mother that I am doing it only for your happiness. And when I'm at school, I sweat, I feel uneasy, and whatever he's feeling, I said, express that. So at that point of time, it was in the evening, he told me, I spoke this in the evening in a cool and calm way. And she said, okay, fine, it is your decision whether you want to wear the sweater or no, but take the sweater with you in your bag and go. Whenever you feel that you're feeling cold, wear it. If you don't want, don't wear it. So this is how you have to go step by step. I know what you asked that. That's why I completed the whole story.
No, actually, there's this another part to this question is that sometimes a sweater, like wearing a sweater, not wearing a sweater, is like a very tiny decision in compared to like major decisions we need to take in our life. And in those decisions, sometimes parents are not that supportive. Like for example, when you're choosing a subject in your high school, and if you are like choosing a college or like a stream which you wants to go in, or any course that you wants to pursue, and like even major decisions, so many a times your parents are not supportive of your decisions, and you cannot just lie from there. You just cannot like go away or like let go of that situation and that huge discussion and do your own thing. You have to listen to your parents because you are actually financially dependent on them, like if you are a kid and young adult. So somehow you are dependent on your parents for your financial needs, and then in such situations you have to listen to your parents even though you don't want to. So how someone could deal with such a situation?
Yeah, so this situation has happened to one of my friends. That girl wanted to do hotel management, but mother, she had I mean, single parent. So the mother said, no, you have to do a BA, and I'll not let you do hotel management. So she said that, okay, I will do BA, but at side by side, I am going to learn the diploma course in hotel management too. So the mother said, if is your wish that you want to do hotel management side by side, then you have to work and study to fund your hotel management. I will pay for your BA, but I will not pay for your diploma in hotel management. So the that girl was a good singer, so she would go and have these small singing sessions in restaurants, and in parties. She was a part of event management part time, where she could go and sing at for birthdays or for some celebration, and she would fund her hotel management course. And as she finished her BA, she didn't get good scores. Yes, she got passing marks. Her mother was happy that she passed her BA. And at the same time, she was continuing with her diploma in hotel management. And at the same time, she was also working. So, after that, she got a good job in the hotel management industry. And then she told her mother that now what to do. I have tried searching job with my BA degree. I didn't get a job, but here I'm getting a good pay package. What to do? So the mother said, if you're getting a job and it's a good pay package, you can take it. तो the point is कि यहाँ पे अगर if your parents are not supporting, and I've seen many students, उनके पेरेंट्स सपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं कि म्यूजिक सीखो या आर्टिस्ट बनो, तो उन लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि अगर आपको कुछ करना है, दूसरा कुछ करना है, तो आपको सेपरेट काम करो और अपना फंड करो, अपना एजुकेशन फंड करो. So you can do that, but at the same time, the parent herself saw that with a degree of just BA, she didn't get a job, while with her, updated, diploma extra, that is diploma in hotel management, she got a good job. So, that is the point. Like, if your parents are not agreeing, but that doesn't mean you stop your things. If you have the passion, continue it. Tell them, I am going to do what you like, but I am not going to stop my passion. And many people today are doing their things according to their passion rather than, what they have studied. Many, I mean, their degree is something else, but they are doing something else all by itself.
Like, I get it now. And like, all we need to do is to prove it to them that whatever they are going to do is going to be better for them. And how can they have a better and happy life if they pursued this rather than what their parents are suggesting. So all you're saying here is that we need to prove it ki why the other thing is better for their own selves other than what their parents and guardians are suggesting.
Yeah, that I always say, if you have a dream and you want that dream to come true, then work on it, prove it. Because आजकल आप ड्रीम बोलोगे ना तो कोई सुनेगा नहीं. They all want results. If you have if you have the dream, prove it, achieve it, and then people will say, okay, you have done it. You have achieved what you wanted. So it is important, if you have certain ambition, if you have certain liking, then go for it. Even though you're doing something else, go for it, achieve your goal.
But okay, before I want to ask, has it always been your dream to become a child psychologist?
Actually, it initially, when I was in my schooling days, I wanted to do my MBBS and become a pediatrician. Uh,
Okay.
but the thing was, I didn't get good scores in 10th. And so the option was commerce and arts. And I actually, by mistake, filled up my arts form. Actually, I was supposed to fill up the commerce form, but by mistake, I filled up the arts form. And then I thought to myself, if this mistake is giving me some direction, then let me do it. Everybody, not my parents, but my other people who I knew, close people, they always told me while doing arts, कि arts करके कहाँ जाओगे? And
बिल्कुल. Like,
I
that is a pre-notion again कि arts वाले बच्चे are supposed to be dumb. Okay, I am a sufferer of that thing as well. I took arts in my school. Even though I was like one among the toppers of whole school when my 12th results came like in the art subject, but still people consider you like whoever person have taken arts is going to be like someone dumb, not worthy of like becoming a doctor and an engineer, जो कि इंडिया में like higher post मानी जाती है.
correct. And I, being a South Indian, in South India, doctors means MBBS. There's nothing else, you know. So everybody started saying कि क्या करेगी, BA के बाद क्या करने वाला है, कौन सा job मिलेगा. All these things were like really irritating. But at the same time, in my final year BA, I topped my college. And though my family comes from an academically inclined with all engineers, doctors, journalists, everything, I was the first one who topped college. So that was a big thing, and that was a shocking thing for them. And after that, I thought, if I can do this, I can do anything. And I said that I am going to do my PhD, and I am going to help many of the children who are going through what I went through, like, criticism on taking their career, or bullying, or, telling that you're not good enough, and all these things. So that is the time I decided, okay, I am going to go to child psychology, and children need it, because many schools, even today, don't have a child psychologist, which is really, really bad. Children need it more. And that's what I went on to do my PhD. I am the first girl in the family who is a PhD.
That is actually very inspiring. And I am also very glad that you filled the wrong form. So you are here and we are having this discussion, which is, I hope, is going to be very helpful to our audience who is listening to this. And like getting a job and settling and like future में आगे career में क्या करना is such a big question these days. And today's generation, like especially the Gen Z that we are talking about,
Yeah.
um, they like to call them Gen Z. I still do not know why they call it Gen Z. I need to like Google this. Why is it called Gen Z? So these people, like, don't tell me you know this.
No, no, I am the millennial baby, and not Gen Z.
I am Gen Z, but I still don't know the meaning. Like, that's shame on me. Okay, so like these days, these people are doing very, very great as well. Like everyone is hustling on the side, doing things that they wants to do, and that too with the help of internet. Like internet has been a really, really huge help for
Hmm.
today's generation to work in multiple fields and follow their passion. But
Yeah.
and many of them are actually doing really good. I have heard so many stories that people and like these kids younger than me are like earning in like millions and dollars, and that's quite amazing. Also makes me feel a bit envious, but still it is amazing. But there occurs this another issue that I have get to know about. Ki, these kids, because they are very young and vulnerable at this age, like at the teenager and early young adult age that we are talking about, so
Yeah.
they're very vulnerable at this stage, that if they are working over something and if that something did not work out well, or even if they failed usme thoda, then they feel कि उनकी life, whole life is over. They can do nothing in their life. They are a failure. Their whole life is waste and they are of no worth. So like iska bhi next level, people feel suicidal even.
Yeah.
Like I have seen and like talked to so many people who have, I won't say so many, but I have still talked to many people who felt like so that they were very suicidal. They felt like their life is of no worth because they failed in certain something in
Hmm.
regarding to their career. So
Hmm.
what would you advise to such people to deal with all these things like in a most practical manner?
I would say whether it is Gen Z, um, the millennials, that is me, or the new generation which has come, Generation Alpha, we are all,
Okay, I did not know the concept of Generation Alpha, so count me in the millennials.
so it all ends up into having, this feeling of being rejected, feeling of, being a failure is a result of, as a kid, you are told to compete with others. You need to be better than the others. It is like you're in the horse race. You have to be the best horse. And if you don't win the race, you are bad. And the parents start criticizing from the childhood. There is criticism. Oh, you didn't participate. Oh, you participate and you came third. Oh, your handwriting is not good. See, that person's handwriting is so good. Mr. Sharma's daughter got 98% and you got only 97. This is all so demotivating. And the child wants to prove themselves, but they are competing at the same time with the others. And that happens that, when their project or their certain things get rejected, they feel that I am useless. But why don't they think in that way that that project got rejected? Maybe that was not a good project to show their talent. Their talent is about that project. Maybe there's something better inside that. Or, job interviews, they get rejected, they feel that they're useless. But I have seen, and it has happened, that a person had got rejected at a job, Gen Z only, rejected at a job, and after a few months, that same company closed down. So I told that person, good, you didn't get the job, and you were sad about it. So, we don't see the other part. Whatever happens certain times is for our good. Maybe we are not that job is smaller than our capabilities, smaller than our talents. तो फिर हम लोग वो नहीं सोचते हैं, हम लोग वो नेगेटिविटी में ही रह जाते हैं कि हम लोग बुरे हैं, हम लोग अच्छे नहीं है, इसलिए जॉब नहीं मिला. आई स्पोक टू एचआर एंड दे टोल्ड मी कि जॉब कभी कभी नहीं मिलता है या प्रोजेक्ट डिक्लाइन होता है, नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द पर्सन, बिकॉज ऑफ द कंपनी. वी कैन नॉट फंड योर प्रोजेक्ट, we cannot afford you because you are more talented, and that salary which we are giving is very less compared to your talent. There are many reasons, and most of the reason is because company को afford नहीं होता आप, because you are more talented and the company doesn't have that so much funds to give you. That is the most of the reason is that. पर ये कोई हमें समझाता नहीं है, कोई भी एचआर नहीं बोलेगा आपको कि आ कंपनी इज नॉट हैविंग सो मच फंड्स टू गिव यू दैट सैलरी और टू गिव यू दैट प्रोजेक्ट. तो हमें ऐसा लगता है कि हम अच्छे नहीं हैं.
You said very right again ki this is so important to understand that failing is all right. We have always been taught about becoming a greater person, like achieving success, but nobody talks about failing. Even if you like failed, it isn't something wrong, you haven't conducted any sin. I have told this earlier as well that I myself an example of failing so many interviews, failing at so many opportunities, and yet because I did not give up, I still continue to work over those things, and I have even achieved success with similar projects as well, and even greater projects than I have failed for. So it is very important to learn that failing is all right. It is simply all right if you failed.
I would say that parents should start, new parents, in fact Gen Z, you all are going to be parents years later. Please please let the children fail, let the children feel rejected. Just encourage them that they can do better, don't compare them.
In one way or another, I feel ki failing at something gives you that power from within to like do better. And when you do better, you achieve even greater heights, because earlier, if you would have gotten that opportunity, you wouldn't be able to grow more. So it was good that you failed, na? It was
Yeah.
actually good that you failed and you started working more on your own growth, and you learned more and you like fought back. So just rather than thinking that you have failed and you have no worth, just shut this all up, whatever is going on in your brain, and get up and like have ice cream and then move forward.
Yes.
Like okay, so when I was asking around ki people that if you have any questions regarding your psychology and if there are some things that you are facing, so one thing that I again got to know about, and I can also relate with this a lot. Even many of my friends told me the same thing ki because we are all in that young adult and adult phase now, so this has been happening a lot ki sometimes they feel very motivated to do something and work, like highly energized ki aaj to har maidan fateh kar hi denge. But the after like a couple of days they're like left with no motivation to do nothing, but they'll lie in bed and feel like doing nothing, just mindlessly scrolling their phones, these YouTube shorts and Instagram reels and like other things. It is actually a very very important issue. I myself feel the same many a times ki one day I'm like fully energized to do something, and the other day I'm like, okay, I don't even feel like moving out of the bed. I would just stay there and lie and like even sleep a whole day doing nothing. And this is not just me, many people are like feeling so. I don't know if it's some post COVID effect or something, but
Hmm.
it just feels like ki, it is also not. We can also not say ki we don't want to work, कि काम ही नहीं करना है.
Hmm.
In our brain we know that we wants to work, but like वो एक command देता है ना हमारा brain हमारी body को कि go get up and do this thing. So
Correct.
that like जो coordination है, it is like there isn't a coordination happening between our neurons. Our brain is not able to command our body to get up and start working, even though we wants to work.
I would say, first of all, we glorify working too much. Like, overtime को हम बोलते हैं वाह 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 कितना overtime कर रहा है. But I feel the person who works overtime, that means you're not efficient at work, no? I mean, you need to finish your work at certain point of time, and then you extend your work after 5 o'clock. That means you're not finishing your stipulated work. That is the first thing. So if you finish your work in that stipulated time, what's wrong in that? Second, if you're not productive 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, what's wrong in that? I mean, our brain also needs a break. We just want to lie in bed. That's also fine. So, is it necessary that we have to be productive every day? Sometimes we don't have that energy, we don't have that motivation. Fine, we need that break, and that break is important to, recharge our body and come back again. See, I'll tell you, when we like something, when we want to do something, there are no motivators. We are our own motivators. And that one full day, maybe a Monday, we are so motivated, we want to do something. And then 3 days later, there is no motivation at all. That is because somewhere we feel that there's something lacking. We need to introspect. What is lacking? What is it? I'll tell you what is lacking. Our motivation. We feel that okay, first day में सब कुछ कर दिया, we need results. No, results come slowly. Every individual, just as you said that many of your contemporaries are earning a lot in dollars and all that stuff. uh, I know you feel that envious के अरे वो कमा रहा है, वो कर रहा है, but उसने continuous job तो नहीं किया था. He had done work slowly, and today that person has become something. He also goes for breaks. He also moves, away from work. Even if you ask me, sometimes I don't do anything. I don't take appointments on certain days. I just say आज कुछ करना ही नहीं है. So it's fine. But we are having this thing, we are glorified work so much that when we are relaxing also we are thinking अरे आज कुछ काम नहीं किया. अरे नहीं किया तो नहीं किया. आज रिलैक्स किया, आज एंजॉय किया, आज अपने लिए जिया. So it's fine, no?
To this point, there is this another question कि if we think कि हमने कुछ काम नहीं किया, आज ये नहीं हो रहा, वो नहीं हो रहा, then there is this another feeling at our subconscious कि if we do not work enough, or if we do not work hard, or if we do not work continuously, then we'll like lay behind,
Hmm,
and others will like just as you said, it feels like it's a race कि हम पीछे रह जाएंगे.
hmm,
And in order to fit in कि भाई we need to fit in, we need to stay relevant, we
hmm,
just keep on working and working and burning ourselves out, and then we feel the same कि we are not motivated at all, we don't feel like working. उसके
hmm,
बाद then this emotional struggle कि we need to like force ourselves to work again,
hmm,
then the cycle repeats. So it is maybe the thing कि we just wants to stay relevant, we
hmm,
just wants to keep up with the like fast, really fast growing society, that
hmm,
everyone around us, because there are limited opportunities and population is just immensely high, and to grab those opportunities you need to keep on working and working. It's like a feels like a race that you
hmm.
need to keep up with, you need to stay at the top of it, and if you didn't you will just lose like the great opportunities, and others will win.
Yeah, so I would suggest that when you feel that कि हमें low feel हो रहा है, we don't want to get out of bed and all that, then I would suggest try those self-love activities. I mean, sometimes we are just doing that work, as you said, because other person is doing. Other person is ahead of us. That's why we want to do same type of job or same type of career path or same type of project to prove that we are better than others. Then find out what you are better in. Like there are so many celebrities today. They have come up in their own way. Like if you go to see these MNC eating joints, like these big brands and all that stuff, they started out late. There are many people who started out late. They were doing their job, but at the same time they did their passion also. Like, something like beatboxing. It's a music, kind of music. When we were growing up, I mean, when I was in school till maybe 10 years old, nobody even knew that what is beatboxing. But as I became into teenager, this thing was introduced. So somebody came out with this plan, right? So you need to think out of the box rather than competing with somebody else's passion. We are nowadays competing with somebody else's passion, and then we have no motivation to continue with it. We need to make our own passion. If beatboxing can become so famous now, imagine that small little passion in you can make wonders. I started off at the age of 16 to write, okay, poems. As a school child, I never liked poems, but at 16, to remove the frustration, to remove all the, stress out, I started writing poems. And that made my second career. I am a content writer also.
Wow, I did not know that. Like, how many secret talents you have hidden behind? You should have told me earlier. I would have like announced a long list of what you are.
So my poems got published in US in a competition. I never dreamt that, that it would be published over there, because I started it as just a thing of rooming out my frustration and stress, and it went out to being a habit which I still do. I still write articles. I still write my poems. So this is the thing. I have kept my passion still. There, every one of us are unique. They all have their passion. Don't do things just because somebody else is doing. Please bring out your passion. Someone is good in coding, someone is good in designing. Come on, get out that passion. Don't think ये लोग क्या कहेंगे. लोग तो हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ कहते ही रहते.
I hope our audience gets to learn a lot from this. And one another question that I got is that कि जैसे जैसे हम बड़े होते जाते हैं, we lose that connection like with a lot of people. Just
Mhm.
earlier when you used to be kids, so well, we didn't even used to think before making friends, है ना? बस जो भी साथ बैठ गया, जिसके घर भी टिफिन खा लिया, they used to become our friends, है ना?
Yeah,
बिना बिना कुछ सोचे, just जिसको भी हाय बोला पहले दिन स्कूल में आके, they are like became our friends, है ना?
yeah.
So these days, like when we grow older, जब स्कूल से निकल जाते हैं, कॉलेज से निकल जाते हैं, so we find it very difficult to make friends. Let's take an example right now. I haven't actually made that many of friends since I stepped foot out of my school. I have made very limited number of friends. What is the thing with you? Has it happened with you as well?
I was an introvert. I had friends, no doubt, but right now, if you tell me, name a school friend, I will say only two of my school friends I am in contact with. And कॉलेज फ्रेंड्स आई हैड अ लॉट, बिकॉज क्या होता है ना, अगर आप टॉप करते हो तो सबको आपके फ्रेंड्स बनना है. तो क्योंकि नोट्स
Oh,
है, कैसे पढ़ाई करती है, ऑल दैट, वो जानने की कोशिश में. तो बट
mhm.
इफ यू से माय कॉलेज फ्रेंड्स इन कांटेक्ट, दे आर आल्सो टू. And yes, I have another friend who knows me from quite a long time, but yeah, she was not in my school or college. So if you say handful, I have 5 friends who know about me. And the other friends, वो छूट गए, I can say.
I can also say that you missed one point. Other than people approaching you for notes, you forgot how beautiful you are. So, like, I got this question ki we find it very difficult to make friends afterwards because maybe we get conscious ki that person might judge us, and or especially this one thing ki how that other person would add value to our lives because we are too busy with our own selves and with our career and like understanding our own lives and settling into that we like simply don't want to have unnecessary problems in our life. That came out very rude, but that is the question that I got.
Yeah.
Ki, because of all these things going in our mind, we just find it very difficult to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
and we are very hesitant to even approach after a certain age, like when we get out of school or colleges,
Yeah.
and that leads us to feel lonely and alone, and you need to have some company, no? Like you
Yeah.
need to have friends and family in your life, and when you are grown older and you're hustling in your life, you cannot share like everything with your family,
Yeah.
how you're struggling with your career and how's everything going.
Yeah.
So, and because you are not able to make friends, that becomes like very stressful in your life. So,
Yeah.
how one to deal with such a thing?
Okay, so this is a nice question to a person. I'll tell you why. To me, because I am the only child. So I love spending time with myself. And the second thing is I do have trust issues in making friends. Like it will take me 3 months to make you a friend. I have to know you, understand you, and then only I will indirectly take a test also that tell something, and if that comes through somebody else's mouth, then gone. That person I will not discuss anything further. But yeah, there is a difference between loneliness, being lonely, and being alone. Okay, so I enjoy being alone. I do a lot of stuff being alone, that I listen to music, I watch web series, I watch comedy shows. I If I feel bored, I start cooking. And I feel that if I am a positive person, if I am the right person, uh, you know people will be few, but that will be the best. And I mean, at workplace also, when I was working previously, I would speak to everybody, but I would only talk to one person who knew me inside out, and she's still in contact with me. But other people, I stay far, because I know that these people are going to spread rumors, they are going to taunt me, they are going to bully me. So until and unless I know that person well, I wouldn't like somebody to hurt me. And I would say, if you're feeling, that you're not making friends, other people are having those friends. So I feel that you should not envy just because somebody is having 15 friends. But in that 15 friends, how many of them will come when you have problems? I know that in my 5 friends, all of them will come.
There's this another thing that you feel like this is a human nature, no, that we wants to be a part of community wherever we are, like we
Yeah,
belong somewhere.
yeah,
We need to belong, we need to like mix up and mingle with other people.
yeah,
Being a part of community is so important, it is default in the mammal mind that we
yeah.
need to be part of a community to keep ourselves safe
Hmm.
and for our own well-being. So people who are moving out of their homes, and like
Yeah,
kids and children and young adults who are moving out of their homes for like studies and for their careers, who don't have friends outside, and they feel very uneasy to make friends because of all the prior mentioned reasons.
correct.
So yeah, that is another major question, ki how we can approach
Okay.
and like go towards making more friends, like even when we don't trust and have major trust issues.
Okay, so I would suggest that, if like supposing that you like music, then go for activity classes, meet people. If you like dance, go for dance classes, meet people, see whether they are trustworthy. If they are not, then you will find somebody else who is better. Because in music class, dance class, or any activity class, there are group of people, and I would say nowadays even older age people go for these classes. So it's not necessary that you have a friend who is of your age. You can make friends with who's older than you also. They give a lot of ideas. I don't mind making friends with a 10 and 12-year-old also, because I feel they have a lot of solutions to my problems sometimes.
Also, I learned one more thing right now from you only, that फ्रेंड्स का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप सब कुछ उसको आपके बारे में पता होगा, वो आपको 100% जानेगा, ठीक है? जैसा आपको पसंद होगा सेम उसको सब कुछ सेम वैसा ही पसंद होगा, एंड व्हाट
Correct.
यू डू द पर्सन डूज डज द सेम थिंग. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that. you can make friends category and particular topics के हिसाब से, like
Yes,
as you just mentioned, if you are in a music class, so you have music friends as well, you have
yes,
your dance class friends as well, you have your tuition friends, you have your college and school friends as well,
yes,
right?
yes,
There doesn't need to be have this one person जो कि thousand and thousand like angel perfect है एकदम, कि
yeah,
that is like my soulmate, my best friend. It is great if you find that person, but it is not necessary that you should have such a person in your life. You can have multiple friends,
yeah.
and even though like you don't match in other stuff that you do, you can have a particular topic related and subject related friends as well. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Because I have seen mom bloggers and mom influencers, they have Instagram friends, Twitter friends, they have all different social media is categorized with different friends. So you can have, there are peer groups nowadays, like, teen peer groups where they discuss things, or there is a working people group, doctors group. So it is also with professions. So, you can have a different category of friends. It's not necessary you have to be the same age, or you have to come from the same culture, nothing like that.
That is great. That is great advice. And this one last question that I want to ask you, as you just mentioned, so people are part of so many communities and are conversing over like Twitter, over Instagram, or like Discord, and there people just don't know each other. They have never met. They have never heard from each other. They just know the text, right? कि कोई
Yeah,
text कर रहा है, or someone is sending the emoji or that GIF. So
yeah.
they just only know the text, and sometimes people whom you don't even know may something very harsh and rude to you or something very mean. People do that all the time because क्योंकि कोई उन्हें जानता नहीं है, they feel like they can do anything, and people just keep on, even on YouTube people just keep on commenting, and they don't even realize this ki whatever they have written, they even like abuse a lot. So
Mhm.
whatever they have written, तो उसको कोई जाके पढ़ेगा, and that person might feel hurt,
Hmm.
and many people and many kids are like getting into this influencing, and everybody is like on social media these days. So
Mhm.
how to deal with such trolling and such issues?
See, like on my page, I have made DM rules and even post comment rules, So anybody comes out with weird DM to me, I just share that post to them and they say, like, I'm sorry. Okay. But the thing is, if the person is trolling and you are getting affected, that means that person has more power over you, right? I mean, someone unknown behind a computer, behind the mobile, is commenting, and we are feeling bad. I have also felt this. I am telling through experience. And I spoke this to my psychologist friend, and she said, Pritika, if you are going to get affected with somebody else's opinion, there are millions and billions opinions which are going to come. And you might be a hero in somebody else's eye, but in another person's eye, you are a villain. So you are going to feel bad for everything, every comment. See, take those comments. If you feel introspect, is this comment worthy? Is this comment right? If you feel that the comment is right, improve on yourself. If you feel the comment is wrong, let it go. Let other people see that person's personality. Let it be. I have seen like a celebrity posted something and there was a troll. That celebrity didn't reply. But my God, the fans protected the celebrity like anything. Sometimes you don't need to protect yourself. The people who know you protect you. So, is it necessary to react to every comment? No, just, and somebody wrote to me on my self pleasing post that self pleasing post is horrible, rubbish, that this makes no sense. I don't like self pleasing, and put a laughing emoji. I replied, you're doing great. This is what is self pleasing. I love what you're doing. Continue what you're doing. You're a best human being on this planet. And that person DM'd me, I'm sorry. So,
Wow.
yeah, if a person is giving you negativity, either ignore, or second thing, give them positivity and they, feel their mistake. That's it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pratika. I'll do the same. Is that what you call reverse psychology?
Yes, yes.
I will definitely try this and I'll text you what would be the response for that. Thank you so much, and thanks from all of our audience for giving us your precious time and telling us all these informative things. And thank you so much for coming on this show. You have been a very great guest. I hope you enjoyed this show. And people, if you have any other question regarding to this, you may reach out to Dr. Pratika Gonsalves. All her social media handles will be in the description. You know that. And again, thank you so much, Dr. Pratika.
Thank you so much, Neha, for calling me and making me part of this. And, I wish that I can touch people's life and change it and heal it through the podcast with you. Thank you so much.
Count me the first person in that list of the lives you are going to change. And it's been so great meeting you.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting. And, this is the second time, I think, together. So it was really nice. I can count you as my Twitter friend.
Okay, like let's meet someday as well. I
Yeah.
hope this day comes soon.
So that was Dr. Pratika, people. Also, a very happy Makar Sankranti to you all. And thank you so much for joining me today. We'll meet you next Saturday with a brand new episode. And, what are you doing, people? Have you checked out my book yet? Clouds by AHS, available on Amazon Kindle. And don't forget to follow Wisely Weird over YouTube, Spotify, and other social media platforms for more updates. All the links are in description. Bye.